So he's talked a lot about former Conference USA teams, but let's talk about the actual Conference USA themselves. We talked a lot about the realignment in the American and how the American replaced those teams was the teams from Conference USA. As stated earlier, Rice, UTSA, um, oh shoot, Charlotte's gone too. UAB is gone. Rice is gone. And for Conference USA, they added some teams. They certainly added some teams. Most notably, they added Liberty. Liberty, had some good moments for sure. They also did add New Mexico State. New Mexico State, like Liberty, was an FBS independent. And then they also added 2 new FCS teams as well. They added Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State coming up from the FCS ranks. And then they also added Sam Houston on top of that, another FCS. So there's only 9 teams in the Conference USA this year. They will be up to 10 when Kennesaw State joins them next year, but only 7 of these teams will be allowed to go bowling if they meet the minimum requirements to being bowl eligible, right? So Conference USA, you can easily make the argument that it's going to be the weakest conference in FBS football this year. That's just how it is. Conference USA is not in a good spot right now. They actually could be on the verge of really not existing, kind of taking that Western Athletic Conference route, if that makes any sense. So we saw UTSA that they also left, and UTSA won the last 2 conference championships. So again, another power vacuum in the Conference USA who takes advantage. And one team that I look towards in particularly that I think is head and shoulders above the rest of his conference right now. Now, we'll see what happens to Jacksonville State. We'll see what happens to Sam Houston. But if it's like the Sun Belt and what they're doing to James Madison, they probably won't be eligible to win the conference championship in their first couple of years. I'm really looking at Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky, it was a team that nearly won 10 games last year. They finished 9-5. Their quarterback, Austin Reed, did stuck around. So the passing attack for Western Kentucky, and that's really the bread and butter, is Western Kentucky is going to have an amazing passing offense. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this upcoming season. The schedule for Western Kentucky is really interesting because they have, what is it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, they still have 8 conference games. So it's round robin, so everybody will play everybody. So they don't get the benefit of being able to avoid a certain team, but this Western Kentucky team, they should be able to take full advantage. I don't think, maybe Liberty could challenge, maybe even a New Mexico State. New Mexico State's got a fantastic head coach. Hats off to them. But there's really only 7 teams that can actually compete for this conference championship this year. So it's really just based off of who's actually still left that's somewhat relevant. And Western Kentucky, I think, is certainly that team. So I would go with Western Kentucky to win Conference USA this year.